Good evening, everybody. I am Richard, and I shall be DMing the game this evening for a D&D adventure short, as we will call it, a one-shot. And this is my very first time DMing something of this sort. Nerves hopefully won't get the better of me, and we'll see how the game plays out. But we're here to have fun, and that's the main thing. I would now like the chance to introduce the players and the character that they would be playing this evening. Just a small bit of information about them and who they are playing this evening. Begin with you, Troy.
Hello there. My name's Craig. As you may have noticed, I'm a bit of a skeleton. I can't really tell you much about myself because I can't really remember much about myself. You might notice that I've got the symbol of cord stuck in my eye socket. I take this to assume that I worship him, but I'm not entirely sure. I've joined the guild because I haven't got anything better to do.
And Sean.
Yep, that's me. I am Brom. I'm a dwarf. As you can see, I like to fight with my fists and my feet. As you can see, I didn't wear a shield or armor. That's because Moradin is my shield and Moradin is my armor. And you can see I've got this lovely tattoo, metallic, and this protects me from death in battle.
And Nads, last of all, please.
Good evening, my flowers. I am Heracles Nettlekin. The locals know me as Big Herc because they can't say my actual name. I am a Furbolg druid.
Great. All great. Some good character creations there. So let's get underway. Our story begins, as some of the characters pointed out, that the three members of our party, having joined a guild, an adventuring guild, and undertaken some quests, a few minor quests, a few larger quests, have now gotten to know each other a little bit and have picked up a quest tasking from the guild and have set out on their way to the village, quite a decent sized village of Rockmount, where they are to speak with the local clan leader, as it were, and undertake their quest that they have requested of. So our picture sets us, first of all, on the winding roads, through the mountains, through the hills, coming out to flatter plains, leading up to our village of Rockmount. And that is where we begin with our characters walking along the road. And at the moment they're roughly 500 meters short of the village. Pick up us.
Did you say clan leader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Right. Well, as we're getting closer, what sort of size village is this then?
The village itself stands at about 25 to 30 buildings or so. There are some establishments you can see in the distance, or some bigger buildings, and then you can see some residential buildings, houses, various sizes. There's a tower that stands off to one side, and an average-sized river that runs and separates the town into two, one larger half on one side and a smaller half on the other side. And that's what you can see in distance so far. This farmlands surround the village itself as you come on in.
Okay, lovely. All right, you two remember who we're supposed to be talking to? I didn't know what his name was.
I don't recall a name, but
So the guild master that has requested the quest, as it were, he's asked for the quest, is a man called Gendrick Indramar.
Oh.
Gendrick Indramar.
Now I remember. His name's Gendrick. Yeah. I just remembered that now.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. You're right, Craig. You're very quiet today.
I'm just taking in the scenery. It's quite nice.
It's quite nice, isn't it? All right, come on, let's get move on. I'm quite interested to see what we'll be dealing with today.
Okay, so as you enter onto the path leading into the village, you happen upon it's a small map actually of the village, and I'll bring you now to that map.
Ooh.
And that map there is giving you the general layout of the village, and the key in the corner is denoting rough areas across the map. They're quite helpful in this village. They like to have people know where they're going. And the building you are aiming to get to is the clan building, the Rockmount clan building. That is where you will pick up the initial part of your quest.
So we've
And you
entered
have
over the
entered-
bridge.
You've entered from the bottom right-hand side, and you come over the bridge, entering the bottom right-hand corner of the village itself.
Okay.
Well, this is lovely,
Right.
you know. Very nice. You know,
You often get a little bit melancholy when it comes to places like this. I don't know whether maybe I used to live somewhere like here, but I don't know.
this is
You still not remember? You can't remember a thing, can you?
Well, it's a little bit hard to remember anything. We've got no brains.
You say, you better say that better than me.
we've got so many questions still after all these months that we've known each other, and I've got so many questions.
So do I. To be perfectly honest. Like, for instance, I can't seem to fix an accent down at any given time.
If at any point, you know, pick an accent. Yeah, no, I'm
sure-
having the same trouble.
I'm sure it's something to do with my having lost my memory.
Wow.
What the? We haven't even started drinking yet, boys. You're already talking nonsense.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't actually drink because anything I drink just falls straight through into my armor and rusts it.
As you start to pass through the village, you start to notice a few people milling about. Not a huge amount going on, but if everybody could give me a perception check, please.
Ooh, I kind of need a token on the map so I can click off it.
Okay, what I'll do then is... Second. Put them in down here.
I'm just gonna roll a dice. There we go. 18.
Heathen.
Wait.
1 second.
Who goes around rolling dice?
It's barbaric, isn't it?
I know, right?
You should now be able to roll off the...
Thank you. If you did you have to like put the tokens on there then assign them to us again?
Yeah, I hadn't quite figured out 100% how to...
You can, if you just click on it and just do a Control-C to copy it, you can then paste it onto another page and it'll carry across all of its attributes.
Perfect.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it counts, if it helps at all, my passive perception is 18.
Okay.
How
but
is that possible?
But my passive perception is
Wisdom.
21.
Crikey.
How is that possible?
It just is. But
It
I'm
just
gonna.
All down to wisdom. All down to wisdom.
Oh wow.
Mine is
Wow.
12.
Yeah.
Holy-
Just as you know, guys, my sentinel shield here helps me be particularly perceptive as I'm walking around.
All right, I forgot about that.
It gives me advantage on perception checks.
Yeah, I know. As you know, I didn't need a shield, so... I've no use
So
for
with
some
this
things.
perception check,
I haven't done mine yet. I get a natural 20.
watch it be a 1.
Yeah. Natural 20!
He called it.
He did. Nice.
Yeah,
I
Perfect.
see everything.
yeah. You see even the small boy down the well.
Timmy!
So as you have wandered through the village. Like I said, you see a little bit of people moving about. You see children, boys and girls. You see women. You see very, very few men in this town. Could be down to them working, could be down to them away somewhere else. But yeah, just women, children at the moment. And a few animals, a few dogs, a few... the odd pig runs by. It's a farming village at the end of the day, but they have a little bit of trade going in and out of the village too. And you carry on, and you make your way to the Rockmount clan building, and you enter upon.
Nice.
As you come through the door, you are greeted quite swiftly by an elderly-looking woman. She's roughly a little bit hunched over. She's about 4.5, maybe 4 3/4 foot, relatively small. Very, very worried look on her face. She comes rushing towards you. Are you the ones we sent for?
That'll be us, my dear.
Oh, and she looks up and she sees Craig, a bit startled to see skeleton for sure.
Oh, pay no mind to him. He's a good lad.
No. Well, it was actually my husband who put the request in, Gendrick. But my name is Carmelina, and he put the quest out initially to have you come and help us. Please, that is what you are here for.
Yeah. It's very nice to meet you, Carmelina. Is Gendrick not around?
Well, that's part of the problem. Come sit down. Come sit down. I'll explain a little bit more. And she offers you over to a seat to the corner, a little table with some chairs around it. And offers you up chairs to sit down, and pours some refreshing drinks for you, if you would like to partake in the drinks.
Oh, I do love a drink.
I'll pass.
Have you come a long way here?
Oh, I didn't know. I haven't not been counting. It's not too far. No.
Oh, we're good. We're good. So, to explain the story, basically, I don't know if you really noticed on your way in here, but there have a severe lack of men within the village.
We
Yeah.
did
Yes.
seem to notice that, yeah.
Yeah, this hasn't always been the case. We maybe 2 or 3 months ago, we started to have a few individuals go missing, and suddenly then more and more and more, and we are down to very few men. They help to run the farms, but we're becoming very short. There are no men to work the farms. This is our livelihood, and we are really struggling. We need to find out if they upped and left or has happened, actually.
Oh,
See Brom like scratching his fingers through his beard.
sounds a little
Yes.
unlikely that they would just up and leave like that.
Aye, and under what circumstances did they disappear? Like in the middle of the night, or during the day, or?
I mean, to be honest, it's been various different situations. Some have work, some have gone off to undertake taskings. We used to have a lively village, and everyone enjoyed sort of an endurable lifestyle and a good atmosphere around the village. But with all the men disappearing, the atmosphere is certainly changing.
So, how long has this been going on for?
Like it's about 2 or 3 months now. It started slow at first, and then more recently, the last few weeks, more and more. And my husband himself, Gendrick, he has now also gone missing, which he's the leader of the clan, the leader of the village, essentially, and he has gone missing himself. And this is what worries me the most. The quest we put out, but a week or so ago, and now he's missing himself too.
Well, was there a particular area that they're going missing from? Or particular direction?
I mean, I myself have with things that have been going on, I haven't really left this building much the last week since Gendrick has gone. You're more than welcome to speak to the other individuals around the village and see if they might know more. I myself, very little at the time.
Right.
My husband Gendrick was the man of action. He was the one that very much was decisive and made things happen.
I see.
And when exactly did he go away?
6 days ago now.
And what was he doing? What was the last thing you saw him doing?
Well, he had some tasks on his list. He was to pop in and see Armorer and our bladesmith in town. He was doing his tour of the village to make sure there were no more missing. He checked upon the chapel within town and then the two inns as well. He liked to check on everybody to make sure that all was safe and no more had disappeared.
And that was just in the middle of the day, in broad daylight, in the middle of the village, just up and gone.
Well, where he actually disappeared, I do not know, but it was certainly during the day, maybe into the early evening.
I would say the best idea is that we go around all these places that he was going to be visiting, and then we find the one where he disappeared between two different places, and then we start looking around there.
It's not a bad idea, eh? Right?
Well, thank you for coming ever so much, and hopefully we can rectify this. I'm ever so worried, not only for my husband, clan leader, but for everyone within this town. If we can solve this, there is certainly a bounty for you, a reward. We will offer you 500 gold for the completion of this reward. If this task is a hefty task and we have a small amount in reserve, we could pay you a little more, but certainly if you can help us, whatever it takes.
Well, don't you worry. We'll do what we can.
Better get started then.
Carmelina, is there any particular route that Jinrick used to go on? Did he go to any particular places first, or was it just random?
No. He liked to walk the same route. He was a very routine man. He typically would do the weaponsmith first, then the armorer. He would then go via the chapel, and then they'd followed by the two inns. Sadly, the watchtower we now have is very much derelict. It's not often used anymore. We did at one point have a small village guard station there, but that is very much empty and deserted right now.
Looking on this very handy map that's been provided, so the inns are the Sharpened Axe and the Golden Hammer?
No, so number 2 is Sharpened Axe, which is the weaponsmith. Number 3 is Arlen's Outfitters, which is the armorers. Then you have 6 is the chapel. The 5 is the inn, is one of the inns called the Golden Hammer. And number 1 is the second inn, the Serpent and Goblet.
Serpent and Goblet. And out of the Golden Hammer and the Serpent and Goblet, which one would you go to first?
He would probably pass by the Golden Hammer first, just with the route it takes by book. With the Serpent and Goblet being on the other side of the river, he would usually do this one last, and then return home.
I do believe we have a plain eviction, boys.
Oh, you think so?
I say we're off to the Sharpened Axe first.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you, and we hope to see you soon. Certainly.
Yes, well, of course.
Yeah, right.
We'll return as soon as we got some information. But you leave it to us.
Thank you, Carmelina. It's been absolutely lovely looking at your drinks. They looked lovely. And we're going to be off.
Thank you.
Yep. Brom will down his drink, what remains, and nod and leave.
And as the three of you leave, you hear behind you the door close, and then, and there's about 4 or 5 locks that lock behind you
Do not blame
as you
them.
do so.
Right, that's a little bit. So, now, I know you two have accused me from time to time of having a bit of a wonky logic, let's say, but how about we start with the final destination first?
You know what? I was just about to suggest that. We should walk the route backwards.
Aye.
I've got no problem with that. Now, I mean, the suspicious part of my thinking cavity is suggesting that maybe the place which isn't gone to by anybody else is where everyone's going.
What, you mean the watchtower?
That's it.
Oh, it's on this side of the river. Maybe we could try there first.
I mean, if I was to be kidnapping people and I wanted to store them somewhere, then I would probably take them to a place where no one else goes.
Oh. I reckon we do that then.
Right, aye, it's here and we can have a quick look inside.
At least we can.
Okay.
If it's a watchtower, we can go up, and if there's nothing wrong with it, we can just go up to the top and get a lay of the land.
Right then.
All right then.
All right.
So you start to make your way. That decision made. Yeah, everyone happy?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
head to the tower, yeah.
So you start to make your way over, follow the route round, passing a few just small residential farm buildings, and head towards the watchtower marked as number 4 on the map. And as you come closer towards it, you see it's actually quite a well-presented watchtower. Like most of the buildings in this village, they're quite well built, quite good appearance to them. Doesn't appear run down as such. And as you get closer, you see the front door to the watchtower is actually slightly ajar. It is open.
Sorry, did you say it's discontinued? It's not currently in active use at all?
Derelict.
No, it was a
Derelict.
watchtower. It was a
Yeah.
small guard. It's derelict as in unused, but as opposed to in bad repair. So it still looks good, but it's just unused.
Right.
Right. If you
Right.
don't mind, lads, I'll go first. I've got the shield. I've got the breastplate.
So do I.
I've got the real shield.
He says, pointing to his chest, just pointing to his chest. Pointing to the tattoo.
I mean,
All right, as you like.
right. Yeah, Craig will go first. Shield up, mace drawn. We'll open the door very slightly and look inside. I have dark vision.
Okay,
and
as you open the door, you hear as it swings open. It swings away from you, swings into the room, and a little bit of dust kicks around. Just take a second. Even with dark vision, just takes a second just to catch the lay of the room. It fairly standard lower floor of this tower. As you walk in, there are weapons around some of the walls and sort of weapon stands. There is some armor there. And again, it just looks like it's just been left empty, as if the guards just left for a day and then didn't come back in this lower floor. And there is a spiral staircase which runs up around the outside, goes up to the roof of the lighthouse, and there is a second smaller floor about halfway up.
Can I just go around just scuffing my boot across the floor and tapping my toe into the corners just to see that the floor is just solid?
I was about to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, it is essentially like a cobbled floor along the ground. There are no false floors. There are no trapdoors. There are nothing in this.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look up
So-
on the second floor.
Aye.
Yeah.
We'll
so
head head up and
Okay,
have
so
a look.
if you head up the spiral stairs which run around the actual outside perimeter of the tower, you go 45 steps up, and you come to the smaller second floor. And this is just a small like bed chambers. There are a few sort of like bed cots around the side, sleeping areas. Nothing all too crazy. Some chests. Again, which are actually open. You can see some clothes in there, a few little bits of basic leather armor, and again another few simple weapons just dotted around. Some laid in the cots of the beds.
Well, it appears that there's nobody
And
else
can
here.
you see out from here?
Not at this point. There are small windows, very small, sort of like porthole windows, as it were. Just to let a little bit of light in, but not a good view out.
You can go up again, did you say?
Yeah, you can go up to the top of the tower where there is a platform, like a little viewing platform
Yeah,
to look out.
I'd like to go up and have a look.
Okay. Okay, so do you all head up, or just yourself, Sean?
It's well, I'm going up. It's up to them. Up to them. I guess.
I'll follow him. Yeah.
I'll stay where I am.
Okay. So Craig stays down on the second layer. So the Heracles and Brom head up, and as they reach the top, they look out the sunlight. It's nice, bright, shiny day. So the sun is quite high in the sky. As you look out, you can see across the whole village. Everything's still as normal across the village. People still milling around. Noise still going on. You can see a bit of the farmland in the distance. Some people working upon. But the main thing that catches your notice is as you look across the river, you see what, judging by the map you've seen before, is quite a large inn on the opposite side of the river. And it's actually a little bit raised up from the village. So actually, from what you can see, has quite a good vantage point over the village itself. You can see out. The building itself, again, is in fairly well kept. It's not quite in the right setting with the remainder of the village, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There is a little bit of a, how would you describe it? A little bit of a strange look to it. Like I say, in comparison to the rest, it just doesn't fit right.
Okay.
Some of the other buildings.
From my vantage point, can I see a male character from here in the village?
You give me a perception check.
Okay.
In the village itself,
6.
No, you
I can't
cannot.
see a male anywhere. Okay.
You can see some small boys,
Yeah.
but there is not a man within the village itself. No.
Okay.
Strange.
Right. Well, it doesn't seem to be anything here. Shall we continue?
Well, let me just have a look around. As our we came in through the ground floor. Was there anything like a trapdoor or anything leading down?
On the bottom floor, no. It's a hard cobbled floor. There was no trapdoor. There was no underground basement layer down here. No.
Well then, well if you're satisfied and I'm satisfied, there's nothing there. Then we should move on.
Right. So I'll head back down.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, I didn't find anything up there. I think we should just push on, no?
No complaints from me.
Right, so what should we do first? Shall we take his route, or shall we skip to the end?
Well, I reckon our idea of starting at the end and working our way back's probably the best one.
Doesn't seem like a bad idea to me.
Really? Usually you tell me my my ideas are total nonsense, but all right.
Well, But
I seem to remember that a stopped clock is right at least twice per day.
Well,
You seem like thinking about this.
we've worked together a few times, and we're getting used to the way that each other thinks. Why not?
Oh, right. He's
Seems to
coming
have got us
around
through
at last. Aye, indeed.
I'm still not
So
entirely,
Brom starts. Go.
I'm still not entirely convinced that I actually do think. What if what I'm just hearing in my head is just an echo of the person I used to be? Are we all not just echoes of our own selves, echoing back to ourselves in an echo chamber?
You think, therefore you are.
I know. But what if I am is now gone and I'm just hearing an echo?
I think it's probably best not to question it too much.
Yeah. I mean, oh God. Even if it's just an echo, there must be something there to hear it, right?
I have to say, if I had a mind, it would be blown.
Right. Let's go.
I think this is more of an overarching question, and we should probably take the more time-sensitive one.
Yeah, you're right. Come on. Let's go, chop chop.
Right.
You have to get a move on.
Yeah. You make your way around to.
Number one. I think we're gonna head straight to the Serpent and Goblet, I think.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so.
I think that was the plan, right?
Yeah, so you meander back through the village, taking time just to double check your route, seeing the inn. Kind of, as I said, it's on a slight vantage point, a little bit of a hill. It's across the river, but slightly above the remainder of the village. You cross the bridge, and again, there's a little bit of a winding path as you come up to the Serpent and Goblet itself. Just before you get there, about 100 meters away or so, you see on the right-hand side, it's just a small, it's like a little hollow. It's nothing of any great descript, but there's a small just statue in there, and this is a statue of Melora. And this is the actual deity of the village itself, being a farming community, being the Earth Mother, that she is overseeing of this village itself.
Ah, I see. Yeah. Well, given that it's a shrine to Melora, Heracles will just kind of stop a moment and go, "Oh, you can carry on if you like. I'm just gonna pay my thanks to the Wild Mother." And he steps in and just closes his eyes and takes a moment to say his thanks. And then
I'll stop as well.
when
I
he's
won't say
done,
anything.
he'll carry on.
Cool. So, having done that, you pass past and you start to make your way up to the Serpent and Goblet. And hanging from the front of the tavern, big sign with a big encrusted goblet with jewels and a snake head coming out and then wrapping around the base of the goblet. And it's just swinging slowly. There's a slight breeze, just like creak as it swings back and forth. And like Brom had seen, Brom and Heracles had seen before, this building does now look even more out of sorts with the village. It's quite an ominous presence to it. It's quite a dark building, but it's well made. It's well kept, but just a lot of a darker presence than the remainder of the village itself.
Does the building look newer than like the rest of the village?
No, I'd say it looks about the same. It looks as though it's had a little bit of tidying up done to it. So yes, it could look a little bit newer, but not in build timings, as it were. So they look like the similar sort of build timing, a bit similar sort of build style, but actually it's been spruced up a bit, let's say.
Ooh. I have to say, this looks like a bit of a well-to-do place.
Aye. So, drink.
Well, I owe.
He doesn't wait for an answer. I just push open the doors, walk in, just stamping my feet.
Before
All right.
Heracles can grab his shoulder, because he was going to try and grab his shoulders, but he to stop him, but he's gone. He's going to turn to Craig and go, I don't reckon I like this place. We should be a bit vigilant, I reckon.
I have to say, if I had a central nervous system, I'd have the shivers right now.
Absolutely. Come on, let's make sure our friend doesn't get into any situations.
Oh, well, I mean, he's been in there for about 3 seconds, so I'm sure he's already killed someone.
That's what I'm worried about. Oh, why am
Right,
I
there-
picking up an Irish accent now?
I keep on getting infected by your Devonian one. I keep on. The end of each word is coming out slightly Devonian. I don't know what kind of weird hybrid accent I've got going on here.
I've got the same coming off you. I'm either picking up South African or Irish.
Okay.
We'd like to apologise to all of our listeners of any ethnicity for any wrongs we're doing against any of your accents, regional dialects, or just generally you in person. Sorry. Very, very sorry.
So, Brom has pushed his way inside the tavern. He's had a big set of double doors, and obviously Herc and Greg follow behind. So I shall now bring you to this map here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you've entered into the tavern. There's a small little, essentially, lobby area with some seating, but it's just an entrance in, followed by a small second door, which is a bit like a saloon door. You can see in quite easily, and you can see into a small area of the bar in from where you are stood at this moment.
Okay. Well, as I said, I just push on through rather brashly, and I'll just stand with my feet planted widely, and I'd just like to survey what is before me. How many patrons, that sort of thing.
Okay, so from yourself, as you push through that door, with the other two followed behind you, just behind, you look inside this bar, and it's a very nice, well-to-do bar. It's nice and tidy. There's lots of space. It's a big bar, a big tavern itself. You would expect this to be brimming. It is the middle of the day, but you would expect to see at least a few patrons in here. You see one woman sat in the corner. She's over just down in this right-hand side down here, sat on a stool in the corner, and she's just keeping herself to herself, just nursing a small drink over sat in that corner.
And that's
And
the
that is
only
it.
person currently.
That's the only patron within the bar, but you do see barmaid behind the bar, and she's just cleaning up the surfaces, cleaning up some glasses, and she sees you enter, and she's like, oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Fuck it. I'm gonna strap to the bar and hop onto one of the stools.
As he does that, I'm actually going to, looking around the room, I've seen these decorations in each corner, and they're interesting. So I'm going to go up to, not the one near the lady, she'll get spooked out with this 8-foot blue-skinned furry cowman. So I'm going to go to this one over here and just have a look at this this statue. What does it depict?
So give me, how would I put this as? Give me a nature check.
Nature. Okay. Surprisingly, not one of my strongest things. But,
As a druid?
7.
no, that's a 7.
Okay, not something incredibly hard to notice, but it is a statue, and the same for the one in the opposite corner. It's a big statue, and it's actually depicting some form of sort of demonic creature. It's a stone statue. It's got wings. It's got horns, claws. Some sort of demonic statue, and they're actually both very, very similar on both sides, in a very similar position, but not exactly the same.
Okay. So Heracles will look at it furrow his brow and kind of give it a distasteful look, and he'll come over to Craig, actually, because Brom's actually engaging the person at the bar, so he'll come up to Craig and he'll just under his breath he'll just go, well, the decor is not very wholesome, is it? So I'm not quite sure about this place.
I'm gonna look around as he says this and clock the statue that I assume he's gesturing to.
Okay.
Okay, in the time that Herc has gone over and the statue come back and spoken to Craig, the barmaid kind of leans slightly across the bar to you, Brom, and says, "Oh, hello. Can I help you? Are you here for a drink? Are you here for some food? What can I help you with?"
I think while we're here, we can have a wee drink. Three small beers, please. And then we'd like to ask a couple of questions. And as I'm saying that, I'm realizing this woman doesn't have legs, does she?
No, yeah, you can see over the top of the bar, and it's not something she is trying to hide. She is actually she has got the bottom half of a snake, essentially. So she is half snake, half human.
Okay, Brom will try to hide.
And she sees you looking, and glances down and says, "Oh, I do apologize. I tried to keep myself to myself, keep this hidden, and it is an incredible burden."
Please, you didn't have to apologize. I mean, look at this guy. He's just bones.
Yeah, I did notice, but I'm certainly not one to judge.
Nay, no. Neither are we. Don't worry, love.
In my experience, it is best to embrace who you are and not worry about what other people say.
Was it 3 beers, small beers, did you say, or?
Aye, 3 small beers, yeah. That's right, boys, eh?
Craig, no, not Craig. Oh crap! I forgot what your character's called again.
Brom.
Brom, I know it's a bit hard for you to remember, but I can't drink.
Yeah, all right. I know. 3 beers.
Alright.
Brom always orders a beer for you just so that he can drink it himself.
Makes sense.
And she quite swiftly just pours up 3 small beers. They're just shy of a pint beers, but they're a little bit less. She places them on the counter. Says, "It'll be just 3 silver, please."
Brom will gladly put down the money
Takes.
with a bit extra.
Thank you,
Start
Brom.
nipping at his.
Thank you.
Thank you kindly. And then you see her. She turns and she slithers away a little bit and places the coins into a just behind the bar in what would be essentially like a small till or a small box to keep safe. And comes back and says, "You said, sirs, you had some questions."
Yeah, Brom is currently drinking, so he just nudges Craig.
Sorry. So, as far as we know, Guildmaster Gendrick has gone missing as of about 6 days ago. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I did hear that. Yes, it's troublesome.
What we would like to know is whether he made it here on the day he went missing. Did you see him on the day he went missing?
6 days ago, you say?
That would be 6.
Yes. I mean, certainly he does his daily round. He likes to eat to everybody, but no, the 6. I remember him. Yes, definitely 7 days ago, but 6 days ago, certainly not. No.
And to my compatriots, which I deduce suggests that he didn't make it this far on the day that he went missing.
I concur.
While Craig's saying that, can I please make an insight check to see if I can...
Oh,
Yes, of course you can.
Seeing that you might be about to make some sort of inside check, I'm going to place my bony hand on your shoulder and give you guidance.
What does that give me?
Gives you a 1d4 on skill checks.
1d4.
So I can roll this.
Oh, never mind.
Jeepers. Go on at it as well.
Hang on.
Oh,
28.
28. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so as Craig's talking, I'm sipping my beer, but I'm looking over the brim.
Blocking everything.
Very, very exactly at her face, yeah.
Yeah, so as she does say, oh yes, 7 days ago definitely, but 6 days ago no, he didn't come last week. You do see her, and she, quite obviously to you, Brom, she turns herself away and she starts cleaning the glasses behind the bar. No, not 6 days ago, no.
And you mean what, turning away is almost like she, trying to hide, or is uncomfortable with what she's saying?
Yeah,
Just,
uncomfortable with what she said. The insight, certainly, how high your insight was. She's kind of gone, and she's turned around, not like too quickly that it looks obvious, but certainly you can see her turn away and start almost doing something else.
okay. Right. Aye, Craig. If he didn't come this far, then we should maybe look along the route up to this point. Shall we? Let's finish our drinks and go. Aye. What do you say?
While you finish your drink there, I'm going to go have a word with this young lady in the corner over here.
All right. Okay.
So I will clank my way over.
And as she sees, yeah, go on.
No, you carry on.
So I was going to say, as she sees you clanking over, she is just sipping away at this drink she's got. She's nursing it quite slowly. She sees you coming, and she looks up, and her eyes start to widen. And oh God! As you get closer,
Don't panic. I am quite friendly, I promise. I'm here to investigate the disappearance of your guildmaster and all the menfolk in the village. I would just like to ask you a few questions. Please don't be alarmed.
okay, yes.
Now, would you say that this is a fine establishment to be drinking at?
I mean, yes. This is normally very busy. It's gotten less and less as the weeks have gone by.
It would make sense, considering the people are disappearing.
It's a little bit busier in the evenings, but during the day there is absolutely nobody here. Some of the women come up to drown their sorrows a little bit, to not think about the men that have upped and left, as it seems to us. They seem to have just gone.
I see. And have you experienced any losses in this particular area?
Myself? No, I'm a widower anyway. My husband died over a year ago. I drink my sorrows away here most evenings.
My condolences. And would you say that have you seen Guildmaster Gindrick within the last 7 days? Would you say?
No, certainly more towards the 7 days. Yes. Since I heard the first rumors of him missing, no, I have not seen him here in the village. I did think I cannot remember the days. The boredom is so much they all seem to blend into one. But count back six. She's here counting in her head, and I'm sure he came here, but 6 days ago.
She says, I would like to do an insight check, please.
Yep.
Is she telling the truth? 19.
She is. You can see she does drink a fair amount, so she's not what I'd call an alcoholic, but she is certainly drowning her sorrows most evenings and sometimes during the day. She is being completely honest. She believes she saw him 6 days ago in this tavern, but she hasn't seen him since.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your help and your honesty. I'll leave you to your drinking now. I hope you have a lovely evening.
Thank you. And she's still a little bit nervous that the fact that she's just spoken to a skeleton.
I have the effect on people. I apologise.
As he returns, Brom finishes his drink. He's like, "Oh, Craig, you're getting better and better with that with every try."
Well, this one it didn't run away screaming, so I killed that as a win.
Yeah, exactly. Usually they run away in terror.
Although she was partially inebriated, so it might have something to do with it.
Aye, a wee dram helps. Right, shall we push on?
I would agree. So, if we are following the path backwards, we need to go to the Golden Hammer.
Right, right you are.
Before you-
Craig, Craig. Yeah.
Before you go,
Aye.
are you would? I guess you are here. You're following the guild's request for aid. Would you be able to help me with a small task also?
Oh, what would that be?
My cellar is infested at the moment. We have a real bad rodent problem.
Yes! What kind of rodents is it?
And surely you could help me. I see you are, but dare I say, seasoned adventurers. And it would be very small bother for you. I can give you a small reward. It should take very little time at all.
Now, these rodents that you speak of, would they be of the large persuasion?
No. They are. They are large rats, but certainly not giant ones. Not like up to your hips. Certainly no. I don't have hips, but
No, it's not hard.
But no, they are.
Heracles
what
is
about-
watching this interaction, and he's like, He thinks that she might have been able to take care of it herself, if that was the thing that was going on. So he's wondering whether she's telling the truth. Can I make an insight?
Yeah. Say there, Heracles, you look like you're about to make some sort of insight check.
No, I'm not. That's another 4.
Oh.
He seems as genuine as the day is long.
Oh, well.
She is staring straight into each of you, back and forth into your eyes, saying, "Surely you could do me a small favor and help me out.
Oh,
Would 50 gold change your minds? It certainly help me out."
I mean, if it's just a rodent infestation, I'm sure I can have a word with him and get him to move on. Let's have a look.
It shouldn't be hard for you, and come on, I think it would be great if we go down and clear out this barmaid's basement.
Is that one of them euphemisms that you keep mentioning?
What are you for? What? You 2 for 1? What? I didn't know.
Aye.
Uh,
Aye, what the fuck am I saying?
Show us these rodents in your cellar.
Aye, we'll take care of it.
I can show you down there. They do spook me slightly. I'm not a fan of bats, certainly. Ugh.
Okay, you lead the way.
But she does. She slithers out from behind.
Okay. Oh,
and
Craig,
she tries to-
Craig, are you not gonna finish your beer before we go? You didn't want it. Oh, if you're not gonna drink, okay, I'll drink it. Oh, didn't waste it. No,
But
and I'll.
it was funny the first 20 times. The only reason that I'm gasping or sighing, I have no lungs. But I'm doing it for effect because it's annoying.
Brom doesn't hear you. He's just coughing. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
which way to the cellar?
Yeah, just over here, against the wall is the stairwell down. I thank you ever so much. If you can take care of this, I'll be ever so grateful.
Right, I'll take the lead on this one, boys, but you just stand behind me for backup just in case.
All right.
Either way.
Gestures you down.
Yep.
And with that, pull it up. Well,
We have. Yep.
oh,
I see it.
on.
We've got a wee cellar. Hey,
And so, what order were you in on the way down?
I was
I
first.
believe.
I was at the back.
And Brom. Sorry, Craig, and then Brom. Okay, so you enter down in, and as you come down, the wall actually does go down with the steps. So as you come down, you can see into this first room of the basement here.
Okay.
Can we see any rats?
Yeah,
At the
I'll
moment,
take a step in.
No, you can see some debris around the floors. You can see the barrels, and actually you see a small little raised stairway platform. It goes up to just beyond what you can see is some oak barrels, some ale barrels, but they're on a slightly raised steps. You can't quite see up there just yet.
Okay.
Okay. As soon as we get out of earshot, I'm going to say to them, right, I don't know if you picked that up, but I'm pretty sure she was not being completely honest with us when she said he wasn't here 6 days ago. So, to be honest, I'm not interested in killing any rats, but I am rather suspicious of this building, so if we can get a free look down here, I'm going to take it.
Right.
It
Right,
wouldn't
you
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me to find that we actually would find the missing people down here. Rats? Really?
I mean,
It's a bit cliche.
I don't want to
Well, you know.
jump to any conclusions. She seemed like a lovely person. Something about this building, though, didn't sit quite right with me.
Aye.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I mean, we've seen a lot, haven't we? So,
Aye.
I always keep an open mind.
Jump over there. Oh, I'm just going to...
Remember the giant octopuses?
Oh,
Mage?
I wish I could forget.
I thought it was the end.
Oof.
I thought that was it. I thought it was going back to the sea.
Far too many tentacles for my liking. And usually I'm alright with natural things.
There's nothing natural about it. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So what was that?
Right, nothing natural about it, my lover. Should have gone for Devonian.
Are you taking the piss?
Right.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking a piss at all. No, I'm sorry. I just the voices, the echoes in my head. They sometimes change accent mid sentence. It's very strange.
I'm just going to do something while I'm here. This basement is stone, yeah? Can I tell if this is as old as the building or if this is possibly even older?
The stone on the floor certainly does look a little bit older. It doesn't quite match the polished exterior of the tavern itself.
Okay.
Alright, so let's have a Let's have a little look around.
Oh, this is it's a little bit creepy. I think I saw a play about this once.
Is,
You went to a play?
is this a door?
Oh, aye.
So there are 2 doorways there, yes. There's one on the just below you, Herc, and one off to the right-hand side. You
there,
can see
okay.
quite clearly there's light behind you.
Right, so...
And obviously in this room as well is just a small set of steps going up to a sort of raised platform, which you can't quite see above. It's a little bit above head height.
I am just gonna
Oh, yeah, go on then.
take a few
Yeah.
steps up and have a look up there.
Okay, stop there. So, as you step up the steps and you get about halfway up, you can now see above. You're a furbolg, you're quite tall,
Mm-hmm.
and you see this.
Oh. What? That's statues?
So, they are statues. They are all male, and they are in various positions of their bodies. They are in various expressions on their face. A lot of them quite scared looking.
That on the map they seem to be wearing armor and have a weapon. Is that what we're seeing, or are these more like
It
more
was
casually
generic.
dressed?
It was a generic token. It was.
Okay.
I put them in. It was quite a quick one to do. So they are general village folk. Let's say some of them various orders of dress.
Village people, would you say?
Village people. Yeah, there's a policeman and a builder and a chief. And,
Wow. How ethnically diverse. So are they all? Are they actually arranged like this, as we can see them on the stage?
you can see they have been placed there. They may not have been here initially, but they are placed up on that sort of raised area to be put essentially kind of slightly out of the way.
Okay. Let me just have a look at my list. I don't know. Yeah, no.
Well, can I? While I go up, I have the stone cutting racial trait, so I'm particularly proficient when it comes to stonework. So can I just try and have a look and try and judge? Does this seem to be like chiseled stone, or is this
Give me a nature check.
nature?
Nature, or what would you say this was? Would it be a nature check? Would it be?
Investigation, to be honest.
Give me an investigation check then.
Okay. Investigation. Oh, that's one of my best skills. Although, hang on, I do get to add. It says when using the intelligence history check for the origin of stonework, I get to add double my proficiency. Would that count in this case?
Yep.
Seeing as I'm looking at stone.
Would make sense.
Okay, in that case. Oh, it's a glorious 8.
Oh wow.
It does look a bit like stone, yeah.
Pretty good work.
Well, you must
Excuse
say
me,
they're
lads.
incredibly lifelike.
Yes, I've got a funny feeling here. Can you give me some room, please, bro?
Yeah, I take my
Right,
place.
go
I
on, go
ain't
on.
got a clue about stonework.
Yeah. No. Have you two ever heard? Actually, okay, right. There's me as a player, I know this. Now the question is Craig going to know this? So, with your permission, DM, I'm going to do an intelligence check to see whether Craig would know what might cause something like this if it is what he
Okay.
thinks it is. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So you can give me a DC or whatever, and let's see how this
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't help that he's a fucking idiot, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks at them and a little bit like Brom. They look pretty nice statues.
Yeah.
I don't know what made them.
Some lovely Lovely craftsmanship. Right then. Let's
Okay. Everybody wasted there. Give me a perception check.
Perception.
advantage. Advantage.
Aha. Oh,
It's
for
a
crying
12
out loud,
for
it's
me.
one of my best skills, and I roll a natural 1 for a grand
Natural
total of
1.
9.
I've got 23.
Okay. So Herc and Brom hear this very faintly, but for some reason Craig hears this boom like that. He hears it instantly. And he hears that. And again.
I think that was so quiet the mic didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
So what did we hear?
Okay. So he hears.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh. As in a
here's it.
slittering?
No,
Slithering.
more like a slithering.
Slithering. Of a sibilant, silky, snaky body.
Hmm.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but I can hear something, and it isn't erect.
Alright. Are we in
It's
for
more-
a spot of bother?
I think we might be. Weapons
I'm
ready.
going to quickly pounce up onto this barrel and just in case something comes around this corner.
I'm going to stomp into the middle loudly, slamming my feet on the flagstones to make my presence known.
There are 2 doors here, yeah? Here and here.
Yeah.
And we couldn't tell which door. Okay.
You could generally see into them with a little bit of a dim light, but unless you actually enter that room, you won't get to see
I
what's
have
in the room
dark
until you
vision
come.
up to 60
Okay.
feet.
Okay, so you, Brom, then I'll just. It's not going to
Craig.
harm anything if I reveal it, Craig. Sorry. I do. Where are we? Do this. Let's do. About that. Okay.
You?
Oh.
I don't know if you guys can see as well as I can. It appears to be there was statue in this room here, and potentially one in this room here as well.
You're a bit quiet, Troy.
Am I?
A bit.
There seems to be a statue in this room over here, and one down here.
Right.
Statues.
Or statues. Alright. Well,
Distinct lack of rats.
yeah, I don't
Ooh,
see any.
you're
I haven't
right.
seen any vermin so far.
Do any of you have a light? I can't see much here.
Actually, no.
Saying that, I have dark vision.
Okay.
Oops.
I'm going to step down into this room.
Okay, hold it there.
Screech!
As you step into the room, it does reveal the remainder of the room. And you hear much louder now the shh. And with that, I would like you to roll initiative.
Yes!
Because.
Oh.
Wait 1 second.
But hey, a good roll. 12.
It's a snake.
I get a advantage. There we go on initiative as well.
Why?
No, 19. Because my shield.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Can you put me in the turn order, please?
1 second. Why is go. What did you get? Sorry, Sean.
Sorry, I can put it in.
13. Okay. And then, okay. So, Craig, the cleric, you shall, as you've been very perceptive, you've stepped into the room, you do have dark vision, and from beneath either side of the room slither out two fairly decent sized snakes, and you see them immediately, and you have the initial attack.
Well, she did see there were vermin down here. I guess she didn't actually specify that there were rats. But, alright then. I do apologise for the violence that is about to occur, and I will bring down my mace onto the snake. 16?
That will hit, yep.
Alright, that's a 5 bludgeoning damage.
Yay.
And that is my turn.
Sure.
Smack!
So it then comes to that very same snake which you just attacked, and it will take a strike back at you. It will take a bite attack against you. So a 11, I guess, will miss.
It does not hit.
Yes. So you take 0 damage.
Yes.
Excellent.
with one with the turn order, guys. Obviously, moving on to
There should be
the
an up
next
down button.
person.
If you pull the tab, extend the tab
Yeah.
on the bottom right, there should be a next turn button.
Okay. Yeah. And so Brom's turn. Yes.
So Brom is going to rush into combat. He's going to charge in on his little legs and kick the... no, just punch the snake in the face. 17.
That will hit.
He's got a second attack. Left
Yeah.
hook. It's only a 10.
That will not hit.
But I'm going to use a bonus action to make a additional arm strike.
Okay.
And it says punch, but this time I want to kick it. It's a 9.
That
It
will
misses.
miss also. Oh, yay.
Goodness.
So you punch the snake once in the face, and it's judged you now, and it dodges left and right. You miss. Hercules!
Okay, I step into the room and see what's going on. I was like, "What are you doing to them bloody snakes?" And I'll go, "I told you let me handle this." And I have a racial trait, or is it a feature? I can't remember. But it's called Speech of Beast and Leaf, and I can communicate with. Although I cannot understand them, but I can communicate with beasts and plants and have advantage on charisma checks to influence them. So I am going to talk to the snakes, and I'm going to try and persuade them to stop attacking. Do you want me to roll like an animal handling as well, or?
Yeah. Roll an animal handling for me. Let's just see what that comes out as.
Oh, hey, 26.
Oh. Okay. And you're aiming at specific one or both of them?
I'm just, excuse me, sorry. Pardon. I'm basically just calling into the room at both of the snakes to stop attacking and to come to me, essentially. So I don't know if you want me to try a persuasion as well.
Yes, let's give a animal handling's good. Give me a persuasion. See what that comes out as.
Yeah, that's a 4.
So, so you briefly, as you speak to them and usher to stop attacking and to come to you, they do both in an instant look to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then they turn away again and look back to their 2 attackers right in front of them.
Okay. Right, let's have a look. What have we got? That would have been an action, I imagine. So.
I'll allow that as a bonus action because it was just a.
Oh, okay.
I'll allow it as a bonus action.
Okay. In that case, I will just say, well, I tried to reason with you, but you are obviously nonchalant to my requests, so you brought this on yourself, and I'm going to cast. Let's have a look. Because I don't want to use anything big on these guys. I'm just going to cast Thorn Whip at which is the nearest one. I guess this one.
Yep.
Right. So I create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes out at my command toward a creature in range. I must make a melee spell attack against the target. So I will do that. Boom.
Yes, that will hit.
That's a 9 piercing damage with a 17 to hit.
So you reach out with your vine whip, you spring it down, and the snake falls motionless.
Right. And I just kind of wince and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, my little slithery love." And that's my go.
Okay, so ending that round. I'm gonna do this. You have 2 more snakes appear
Oh, Jesus.
in behind.
Woohoo! Oh goodness!
Me add them.
All right, okay, that's initiative. Whew.
Yeah, no, sorry. Add them in, and with their turn order now added in, Craig, what is your dexterity?
My dexterity is 16.
Okay, and snake is 18, so the snake will go first.
Indeed it will.
So this snake here is going to make a bite attack upon you, Heracles.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Misses.
That will miss delightfully. Lovely. Craig, it is your turn.
Heracles, it would seem that you do not have a future as a snake charmer.
No, it seemed not. What a shame.
Alright, same as before, I'm going to use my mace and I am going to smack it. 14?
A 14 will hit.
That's 8 bludgeoning.
And as you bring your mace down upon its head, it smushes it. It is like red pulp underneath your mace on the floor.
Delightful. Right, then I'm going to turn around. Hold on a second. Spells. I'm not used to having spells. Okay, I'm going to step forward, a step up here, and I am going to cast Shield of Faith on Heracles.
Thank
So
you.
you now have a +2 AC.
+2.
Mm-hmm.
Wondrous. Thank you.
Ooh.
And I am concentrating.
Okay, and that was Shield of Faith.
Yes,
Thank you.
And that ends your turn, Craig?
it does.
Yes. Okay, Brom. Your doorway is relatively blocked.
Can I do some dope monk shit and try and I'm so small. Would you either jump over? Or can I slide through Herc's legs?
Give me an athletics check to see if you can manage to slide between his legs and appear on the other side of the wall.
Athletics or acrobatics for that?
Which would be more sense? Acrobatics.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Give me one of those. 12. Okay, I'll say that you go to slide through his legs. You misjudge it slightly. Your head lightly grazes his balls, but you do manage to get through. And you will appear on the other
Here?
side. Yeah.
Or here?
Next to the wall. So, yeah, to the left here. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess in a prone position, I will just start trying to stamp at the snake.
Yeah. Okay.
So first attack, 18 for 7 damage.
That will hit.
My second attack,
Wow.
oof, it's a critical hit. So it's another 6, 11 damage.
Yeah. And
Is it
with
still
that-
alive?
no, you've fished this thing to death.
Then I will take the rest of my movement to stand up. And I have enough movement. I'm going to move around to here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will end my turn.
Okay. So where are we at? That one. Yeah, we're good. So this one here is going to make the snake has just seen his snake friend be beaten to a pulp, and he's just going to take one strike at the cleric in front of him, which to you, Craig.
Ooh.
A 7. A complete miss.
Natural
Yes.
A
one.
natural 1.
Yes, gently grazes my shin bone.
He's got rubber teeth. And it comes back to you then, Heracles.
Right, I will. I'll turn around, and I'll go. Now look, all your friends are gone. It's going to be very lonely. Now you could stop fighting. You could be my friend if you'd like instead. I'm going to try another animal handling. Another 26.
Yeah, okay. And a persuasion.
And persuasion. And that is a 14.
Okay. The snake, actually, its demeanor chills out a little bit. And it's been up quite arched up, quite ready to attack, and it's now just dropped down. It's a little bit submissive towards you. It still keeps its eye on Craig, but it's submissive towards you, certainly.
Okay. There's a good snake. Now, Craig, if you'd like to back off a little, we mean it no harm.
Oh, if you say so.
Right.
And that ends your turn.
Yeah, and I'll just end by saying, right, now, I haven't really thought past this point.
Yeah.
How about you go and nestle in one of them barrels?
Okay. Give me one more persuasion check.
Okay. That is another 4.
It doesn't listen to your command, as it were, but
No.
it doesn't seem to become aggressive again. It just remains relatively chilled. Just looking at you now, quite intrigued.
Okay, and I'm just going to end my turn in one of those poses where I've got my hands out and I'm like, do I move? Do I stay still? What do I do now? And I'm just going to, I'm just going to stand there with my hands out, almost like a statue, because I really don't know what to do next.
Okay. Craig, comes to you.
Heracles, if you're not actually going to do anything with that snake, I suggest it might be a better thing for me to just put it out of his misery.
It is quite dangerous, and I don't know what it's doing here, to be honest. It's not in its real environment. I suppose it would be cruel to keep it cooped up here in this cellar. And I just kind of look away and go, do what you must. I don't want to see.
Okay. Right, hold on. Where's my thing gone? Okay. So I'm going to step forward. I'm going to bring my mace up. And I'm going to use a channel divinity. Hold on. Is it channel divinity? No, actually, no, it's not. Okay, it is. I'm going to put a divine strike on my mace.
Oh, crikey.
So let's see if it hits. 11?
Well, actually, miss. The snake's so focused on Heracles, it just looking at him, and as it moves its head, you just straight past it.
So my mace comes down with literal thunder as it hits the ground, but misses. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, Brom.
I would like to step up to it. Could I make a grapple check to try and grab the end of its tail?
Yep, you can try. Let's be
For one
strength.
of my attacks.
Let's be a strength
I think it's,
check. Would this be
it's athletics versus either your athletics or your acrobatics. It's basically just a contested roll. So I think I have to make an athletics check.
Oh.
5. And you make either athletics or acrobatics and have to get a 4 or less.
Doesn't have much, or just roll it as a d20.
Oh my god.
Oh, did that just happen?
Wow.
Wow.
3.
Yeah.
So I have grabbed its tail.
So
Yeah.
you have. Let's say you've grabbed it. Would you want to grab it by the tail, or do you want to grab it round the neck, like a?
No.
You would
Tail.
by the tail.
I want to grab its tail. Yeah. And then I'd like to use my second attack to swing it around my head and smash its head against the wall.
Oh my god.
Crikey.
This poor snake.
Okay, give me a melee attack roll.
So, just a standard, I guess that would be plus. Let me just check, because my unarmed strike is technically not an unarmed strike. Okay, so it's only plus 6. Okay. 16?
Okay. Yeah, that will smash its head against the wall. What would your damage for one of your punches be? Is that a D8 or a?
It's a D6 plus. It's plus 4, but that's because of my unarmed strike. So I would say it's only plus 3 normally.
Okay, so
D6
roll
plus 3.
your D6 plus 3.
5.
5. Okay, so it takes a bloody good whack against the wall. You've still got hold of it, but it's not dead yet.
I technically have a bonus action where I can make a final attack. So can I just try and stamp its head against the wall?
Yep. Give it a go. Give me another attack roll. 15. Yep.
9 damage.
9. And with that, you actually squash its head into the wall, and it falls limp in your grasp.
I'm going to say it now. It would have been better if I just hit it, and it would have died a lot quicker.
I was just trying to do it as fast as I could.
Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, poor little snakes.
They started it.
Well, I don't know
Right.
if they did. Well, I suppose let's keep having a look around here.
Yeah, what did you see in that room?
There's a couple of more statues.
What do the statues look like? Is this
So
more
these
the same?
statues are actually more in like a sort of like a guard's attire. They've actually got like a leather armor on. They do have a weapon. They are almost drawn, ready to fight. But these are both very similar, ready to fight, and they are in that position as stone statues.
Okay.
Well,
The question is that why would people be collecting statues and keeping them down here?
Yeah.
something
Is this a
ain't
chest?
right.
Yes, that is a chest against the wall there.
I'm gonna look inside.
Okay, it is locked. If you would like to try and open it, it looks like a very crude lock. Doesn't look like it would take all too much to try and bust it open.
I don't have thieves' tools, but I do have a small chisel.
Okay,
Mm.
give me a dexterity check.
Dexterity, just flat. Dexterity is. Oh, it's only 8.
Okay, you stick the chisel in and you try and jiggle it round, and it looks pretty feeble, but for now it is holding.
Oh, for
But,
fuck's sake!
I don't want to be that guy, but we didn't come down here to rob the lady.
I was just gonna say, what are you doing? That's her belongings, huh?
I turn back to them and almost look at them accusingly. He's like, "Are you two still thinking that that's some innocent woman up there? She sent us down here to take care of some rats, and now we've been accosted by snakes."
I don't think she
something's
said
not
rats
right here.
specifically. She said vermin,
Are you sure?
but I don't remember. But I think so. She just said she had an infestation. I don't think she specified what it was.
Now, I mean, there's a possible correlation for the fact that she is actually half snake herself. But, we shouldn't be racist about these things. Just because she herself is half snake and we're being attacked by poisonous snakes does not mean there's any kind of correlation.
Heracles actually visibly pales at this point, and his mouth goes dry. And he looks wide-eyed at the other two, and he goes, "We ain't just killed our babies, have we?"
Well, I mean, if she sent us down to take care of infestation, I didn't think she'd sent us down to kill her own family.
Maybe she just assumed we'd know.
Well, that would be a bit short-sighted of the lady, do you not think?
Oh,
Okay, Brom, can you give me a make it a wisdom saving? Yeah,
Wisdom saving throw.
Please,
Okay.
just
11.
yeah. Okay, your urge to open that chest is far too great.
Yeah. Fuck this. I'm just gonna go up and kick the lock.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Wow.
Yeah. You kick the lock, it busts off, and with that, the top flips off as well. The chest is now open to see within.
Yeah, well, I've done it now. I might as well have a look inside. Huh?
Okay. As you peer inside, you see 4 things, technically. You see 2 scrolls, and as you open them up, they are 2 spell scrolls of greater restoration. You also see a staff. There's a staff within there, and it's not a long staff, it's about 3 foot in length. Almost like a long rod, like a small staff. It's depicted, and it looks like essentially like little carved men all the way down the rod itself. And then you also see in the bottom of the chest a large gem. And it's bigger than a fist size. And give me a perception check, please, Brom.
Perception is the same. So 12.
Okay, as you look in and you see the items and you see that gem, you see a flicker of a snake's eye within that gem. It flickers open and then closes again, quite quickly.
Ooh.
Oh, there's some strange things in here.
Yes,
Craig.
I thought it was established.
Look at that. And I'll carefully touch this gemstone and sort of tilt it back and forth and see if it does it again.
Let's have a look there. I will have a look at this thing, and I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay, you cast Detect Magic, and you see quite a big ping off this rod itself. It's got a very magical presence.
Okay.
You also see the 2 spell scrolls. Clearly, they're spell scrolls. They ping as well. And there is a relative ping off the gem itself as well.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, although I don't know what they are, that rod and that gem have a magical essence to them. Do you mind if I have a look at them?
Go ahead, I don't know where to start.
I'm gonna have a look at them and see if I know what the gem or the rod are.
Give me an. I'd say. Would we say this is more Arcana or Wisdom?
Probably Arcana.
Arcana. Give me an Arcana check, please.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a natural one.
Oh.
You have not the foggiest.
Oof.
It's a nice looking rod. You know it's magical because you've detected it, but it doesn't seem to make any sense to you. It's depicted little men all the way down this rod.
I ain't got the foggiest idea what that is.
And the gem itself doesn't seem to appear anything to you at the minute.
Well, we'll keep them aside and we'll see if we can find someone to identify them later.
So while you've been looking at that, Craig would have been looking at the spells of the Great Restoration. He's tapping his mace against his teeth while he's doing it. Here's an idea. And he's gonna roll up the scrolls and put them in his pocket or knapsack or whatever. He's gonna turn to this statue, and he's going to cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
At second level, and that does cure paralyzation, which is what stone is. Having been turned to stone, it is usually categorized.
Petrification, is it not?
That's petrification, yeah.
Not paralyzing.
Yeah, I know what you're going for, but that would be petrification, which would be a greater, I'm pretty sure.
Still want to do it?
I don't know. I said I was going to do it, so I've done it.
Okay, so yeah, Craig cast Lesser Restoration upon the statue, and your magic fizzles out of your hand, comes out of your hand, surrounds the statue, just fizzles away. Nothing changes whatsoever.
Craig, why did you do that? What was that?
I had an inkling that it might have changed something. But that didn't work.
What would it change?
Well, I've got a funny feeling, and I'm going to pull out the Greater Restoration Scroll again. Well, now we've seen a lot of statues in this room,
Aye.
and they all seem to be different, and all seem to be really, 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 really good stonesmanship.
Aye, they're pretty good, eh?
Right, I see
And-
where you're going with this.
We found two
I
scrolls. We've got two scrolls
Right.
of Great
Mhm.
Restoration. I'm starting to wonder whether these are our missing villagers who have been turned to stone.
I reckon you might be onto something. Perhaps not. Let's keep them scrolls safe for a minute and look at the next part of the cellar, because we only got 2 of those scrolls, so we should pick what we're going to use them on properly.
Aye, but I mean,
Guys,
if he's
so
right,
far, you've taken the scrolls out and you've taken the staff out.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
box, and
I will grab the gem.
okay, as you pick the gem up, Rom, move it from the box. From above you, from up the stairs, you hear a blood-curdling scream.
Uh-oh.
Like from up on the ground level.
It sounded like a
I
blood
put it
curdling
down
scream.
again. I put it down again. Does the screaming stop?
You look back at the gem, and the snake eye is completely open now, and is just staring straight at you.
Oh shit! What have I done? Oh, look at this! Look.
Right. Well, I reckon maybe put that back in the chest, close the lid, and we never done saw it.
All right.
So,
Shit.
no,
Oh fuck.
I've got a funny feeling that is not going to be an option. I would suggest that we make our way upstairs and see what horrors await us.
Wait, a cat's
Right.
probably out the bag.
Or
Well,
the snake,
let's
as
go-
the case
yeah.
may be.
Yeah. All right. Let's run up. Are we agreed? We're gonna run
Yeah,
up and see the
back
screaming.
upstairs.
We can't ignore a screaming damsel.
no.
Okay, so you rush back up the stairs, and as you do so,
There's a blood
we enter the tavern, and stood upon the bar
Mm.
is a bright green-coloured Medusa. Stood upon the bar, gazing straight towards you, and she lets out another scream. And with that, I'd like you to roll initiative.
Ah, Heracles rolls a 3.
Interesting.
Craig rolls a 20.
This.
Where are you?
I don't know about you fellas, but I'm getting a distinct snake theme to this building. It would appear that being called the Serpent and Goblet was quite aptly named.
Aye.
Ah. Can I call something out real quickly before we start the fights?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over in that direction, kind of realise what we might be up against, and then I'm going to quickly shout to Brum. Shit. Brum! Come over here. I need to do something to you. And that's it.
Actually, I was behind Craig anyway, so
Yeah,
I
can
still
tell me
need
sure.
a token in the turn order.
Yeah.
If you'd set your macros up right, Sean, you wouldn't have to do this.
Dokie. So we should have. So, get that in order. So, as we enter up into the bar, then, Mr. Craig, sorry, you rolled a 20. Let's get rid of that one. Otherwise, you'll have 2 turns in a row.
I mean, you know, wherever you feel is best.
So, Craig, you are up first.
Well, it seems to be a bit of a situation. Now, I don't want to make assumptions. However, you appear to be quite, shall we say, evil looking. So, I am going to start off, nice and gentle, by casting Toll of Dead upon her.
Okay.
Just to see what happens.
Ease.
That is a wisdom save of DC 14. Oh, she saves. Nothing happens. So you hear a bonging sound, and I'm guessing she just looks at me and hisses.
Yeah. So apologies, I just lost the thought. Yeah. So you let out your hand, whatever you want to point towards her. The bells start to ring out, and she just glances towards you, shakes her head. Yeah.
Did not seem to have the desired effect. I will just guess it will have to get a little bit more creative next time. And that's my turn.
Okay. Brom, you are up.
Have the statues moved yet, or would I have not even noticed that they're...
You would not have even noticed those yet.
Okay, in that case, I want to run, skip and jump up onto the table.
Yeah.
And then launch myself off and do a flying Superman punch.
Oh my.
Okay.
So I have one attack. Jesus, that's an 11. That's 11 damage for a crit.
Yep.
Second attack is a 9. And I guess I'm going to spend my first key point and do a flurry of blows.
Fury of
Okay.
blows.
So does a 15 hit?
A 15. Let me double check. A 15 will not hit, but the first
then it's
one
just
will.
an additional 10 points of damage. That was 30 total. That's not bad for a...
Pretty good. First round, should I say.
Yeah, that's not bad. And that's me.
Okay. So as Craig has stepped forward, attacked. Brom has run up and let his fist fly. From over to your left-hand side, Craig, you hear. And down jumps a large winged gargoyle and lands right next to you.
This appears to be a series of unfortunate events.
Hey, TTT. The gargoyle will make a bite attack upon you.
Ooh.
A 10, I gather, will very much miss.
Very much business.
I am rolling bloody awful tonight.
Yep.
Not quite as bad as
La
me.
la la la. Well, you've hit something. I bloody haven't.
Oh, there is that.
Just checking. That will end this gargoyle's turn. And in the distance, again, you hear a little bit fainter this time, and jumps down his second gargoyle. Flaps its wings and can move. So 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. And flies across the room to there and lands on the table.
Wow. Okay.
And that will end that gargoyle's turn. Comes to the Medusa. Seeing you in front of her now, Brom. She is quite enraged. You've just taken a beating out on her. So she will initially attack in her hair. You've come in quite close. Her snakes surround her hair, fluttering around her. Snakes will come in to make an attack upon you. A 17, will that hit?
17 is my armor class, so yes.
Okay, so that will be... I haven't made macros for these, so...
What was that?
I just
Hello.
clicked on snake hair and that came up. I've no idea.
Don't click on snake hair.
So, you initially take 6 damage, and then...
6 damage?
And then...
Did you even roll for that?
Yeah, I did roll. It's come up on mine. It may not have come up on
I see
yours
it.
yet.
Oh, now I see it. Yeah, there we go.
And then...
And then...
16 poisonous damage.
Oh my.
Oh, do I get no save or nothing against that?
I'm just trying to double check now. It says piercing damage plus 4d6 poison damage.
That's
Unless
it. Okay,
I
fine.
am wrong, I believe that's it. So you take 6 and then 16 damage poison.
That's fine. Brom cannot fall in battle.
The Medusa will then take...
It's not...
With her short sword, she pulls out and she makes 2 attacks with the short sword.
Okay.
First one is a 12.
No.
Second one is an 11.
No.
Just completely misses you. The snake has done its effect. You've kind of backpedaled a bit, and she misses with the 2 strikes of the sword. And that will end her turn.
Okay.
So, Heracles, you.
Okay. Oh, I have got the wrong pointer. Right. So Heracles is gonna. Can he see over the top of this banister, or is he gonna have to come up to the top of the stairs?
He's being a furball, quite tall. As he gets about maybe 1 step more, he can see over the banister.
Okay.
As you kind of come up.
Seeing everything that's going on, taking note of the situation, and noticing that the person that I asked to stay near me has gone away, I'm going to. I'm going to go. Oh, all right then. Oh, it's that kind of situation, is it? Right. Oh, I've gone Irish again. Right. The Shire. Right, okay. And he's gonna point his moon staff at the Medusa and go, right, let's see if we can control this situation then, shall we? And he's going to cast Polymorph.
Oh my.
Oh.
Hopefully, where is it? Wait, where is it? Where's it gone? There it is.
Where is it?
So it's a
my.
DC 17 Wisdom save.
Oh, crikey.
Why?
Yeah. Let's see. I rolled a 21.
Holy shit.
Natural 20. Well, if there was a
The Medusa. Actually, as you do you say anything, or do you do anything when you cast a spell?
I'm just gonna be typical Heracles and go, sorry, my love. And that's all I say as I try to cast it.
The magic leaves your fingers, and as you does so, you just see a flicker eyes towards you, and she just almost just stares down as you cast a spell, and you waver with your resolve, and actually the spell fades because of it.
Okay, so I'll just that's 1 slot gone. Oh dear. Okay. Right. What? Okay. Right. So what I'm gonna do then is I am just because I've moved 5 feet already. I'm going to move the rest of my this up here, is that a raised area?
This here is, yes. Yeah. This is where it was like a big plinth where the gargoyle was sat on originally.
Is it?
It's about a good 10 foot up, so it would be certainly an athletics or an acrobatics check to get up there.
Okay. I'm just thinking, is this square here? Is that? Wait a minute. This square here, is that behind the gargoyle? Is that a space the gargoyle is occupying?
There is a little gap behind it. I would give you a skill check to see if you can just maneuver behind it.
Okay, I will do that. I'll try to get behind it then.
Give me a dexterity check to see if you can squeeze in behind it.
Okay. 8.
You go to push past, and this gargoyle is blocking the way. You're a big furball. You can't quite get past it, so you get blocked behind. You cannot pass.
Okay.
You shall not pass.
In that case, I will. I'll end my turn there then. Thank you.
Okay. That brings us back to Craig.
Question for Craig. Actually, is that spell still on me? Shield of Faith.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Will we?
Yes. It lasted 10 minutes. Has 10 minutes passed since we did that? All we did was open the chest.
No.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. So, having been attacked from the side by the gargoyle, I'm going to turn towards it. Oh, really? He's something you don't see every day. Now then, I'm a little bit upset that Heracles has come up here. So, okay, I'll do. So I'm going to aim.
Did I ruin your plans? Sorry.
Oh, exactly. It's fine. I'm going to aim. I'm going to aim a spell here. So Heracles is outside of the range of it, and I'm going to cast Shatter.
Ooh,
at
nice.
4th level.
Ooh.
And because the target, or because the anyone affected by it has to make a save. And if they are made of certain materials, then they have disadvantage on that save, and stone is one of them.
Okay.
So you need to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Okay. A Constitution. That would be a disadvantage. That would be a 4.
So that's 22 thunder damage.
Okay.
Also, this table here would be completely destroyed. or rather take 22 damage because I aimed at
22. Okay, so as you cast Shatter, it hear a small noise. It goes quite quiet, and the gargoyle will take a considerable amount of damage. And the table itself does completely shatter. The chairs fly backwards. And the table is not much left of it.
I apologise for any damage I might be causing to the furniture. However, I feel that the situation is a bit more dire currently than worrying about tables and chairs.
I don't think she gives a shit, my flower.
It is entirely possible. I do believe that is my turn.
Okay. Brom.
Okay, I am going to just jump up onto the bar so I'm level with her. And I'm going to just start pummeling her.
Oh, cheeky.
Say it's her, I assume it's her. Medusa's always female.
I mean, classically.
So, left hook.
Hit.
5 points of bludgeoning damage. Right hook. 17 hit.
17 hit.
Then that's 10 points
10.
of bonus damage, and then 10 points of bonus damage? No, 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And then for my bonus action, I would like to once again use my flurry of blow.
Oof.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Both miss. So you get one hit, boom, 2 hit, boom, and then with that she just winces out the way as you go, boom, but miss the last 2. Almost like a Matrix moment where she just ducks out the way of it.
Oof.
And comes back up. And that ends your turn. So, our gargoyle is down. I think I did these wrong way around last time. So, our first gargoyle, this one here, is going to flap its wings once again. Come up to land next to you, Craig, and well, where are we again? Make a, let's go with a bite attack down, kind of trying to catch you unaware from behind. A 5. Would you believe a natural 1 and a natural 20?
Yes, I do.
Damn.
I want to believe.
And that will end the gargoyle's fucking turn. Next one, let's try again. Yeah. He's actually going to turn, see the furbolg that's tried to move behind him.
Oh.
And will make it one attack. Miss your bitey bite.
Oh.
And that will be a 22 to hit.
Oof, that does hit.
6 damage.
6 damage. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have another?
Thank you.
Gives you a little love chomp.
Oh. Now no nipping, please. Rude, gargoyle.
And that will end that gargoyle's turn. Okay. Medusa. You have begun. Turn. You've really started to piss this Medusa off now, Brom. Whacking her a good few times. And she will begin to attack you once again. Comes in first. Yeah, let's go with this. She comes in with her snake hair attack.
Oof.
For a 7.
No, that's going to be a miss.
And 2 attacks with the short sword.
Ooh.
A 21. Or
That hits.
21. So that will be that. Why are you doing this to me, man?
Believe me.
That'll be 6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Second attack with the short sword will be a 14.
That misses.
Will miss. And that will end the Medusa's turn. Minimal damage, but she got 1 strike off against you. Heracles Nettlekin, it is you of the turn.
Right, I've been trying to decide what to do. Let me think. Okay. I mean, I didn't have that many 4th level slots, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm not gonna do what I was gonna do. So instead, I think what I'll do. No, that's a touch. as well. I can't do that.
You got
okay.
the touch.
So another point I can see. Blah, blah. Sorry, I was looking through these and trying to concentrate on what was going on at the same time. All right. Oh, each creature. Okay, let's not do that because that would include all of my friends. Strider's touch. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is instead of any of those things, I'm just going to try and oh, that's a cantrip. I can use that. Okay, I'm going to use Thorn Whip again, and I'm going to do it on the one that nipped me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to cast Thorn Whip on that gargoyle, and that's a 23 to hit.
Yep, that'll certainly hit.
That's 4 damage. Let me just see what else I can do. Aha! Now, I have a feature called Combat Wild Shape, which means I can Wild Shape as a bonus action instead of having to use an action.
Okay.
So I am going to Wild Shape. So let's put that there, and I'm going to turn into... Where is the... Oh, I think I will turn into a... where's it gone? Because it just seems fitting. I'm going to turn into a giant elk. And it's going to... I mean, a furbolg is big. And I'm sure that this inn has a high-ish ceiling. But this elk is going to essentially fill quite a lot of space. And it's gonna kind of be smooshed up against the wall a bit, and it might its snout might actually touch the gargoyle because he hasn't really thought about this. So yeah, there he is. I'll move I'll move my furbolg off to the side, and that is my elk shape. That
Good.
will
Now be able to control that, Nads.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I can. And that
Cool.
has... I'll just put its hit points in there. Right, okay. No, charge only works if I move at least 20 feet first. So I can't do that. So I will just stand there and snort at this gargoyle.
And it snorts back.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Mr. Craig, comes to you.
I am going to move over here. This would likely give them both attacks of opportunity. You're welcome to take them.
Certainly the one that was attacking you. The other one, how would we call that? It wasn't in combat with you, so I will say no. The other one will come back. You. A 23.
23 does hit.
7 points of damage as you rush away. It slashes behind the sort of collar, gets you just above the armor, so it gets the back of your neck. Little bit of damage.
I need to do a concentration.
Yes, please. Concentration on that Shield of Faith.
I am a warcaster.
Yeah.
Because
So 13, that's DC 13.
I remember exactly how fucking annoying it was when you were doing it, Richard. So I'm going to be doing that with an advantage. 16. There we
Yeah.
go. So that stays
Oh,
up.
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so I am going to cast Shatter
Nice.
right there.
Oh.
between the two of them. And
No.
and wait, there's more.
And then
I'm going to be using a Channel Divinity to use Destructive Wrath. Which means that instead of rolling, I do maximum damage when I do either lightning or thunder damage.
okay.
So I'm going to be doing it at level 4 again. Which means that... Let me just roll it. Let me just cast it so I know how many dice to count up. So you need to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Yeah. So this is the one on the right.
Oh, that saves.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Apologies, that was accidental.
I'd say that was initiative.
The other one is... Oh, that's lower. That's a 9.
Okay, so the first one takes 20 thunder damage, and the second one takes 40.
Okay. So... 40 and 40. The top one, the one that came down nearest to you, as you cast the shatter and the noise of shattering glass initially, you then see the Gargoyle itself, the whole stone structure starts to crack. And with that, it shatters into several thousand pieces
Nice.
and sprays across the floor. With that, Gargoyle is no more.
Nice.
This is what happens when you tip me and my friends. You get put on a list, and trust me, you do not want to be on Craig's list.
Very clever.
I'm so sorry.
Not bad.
Rob!
Not bad. Yeah, guess what I'm going to do?
Bam bam, thank you, man.
Yeah. Here's some fries and a Coke.
Isn't it Coke?
No.
Please don't make me laugh. So I guess a 14 doesn't hit.
14 will not hit. The 25 first one will, so that's fine.
And
The second one does
I'm
not
going-
hit.
I'm going to use another key point to do a flurry of blows. Oh, that's a
They
little bit
both-
better.
They do both hit. So
That's another 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
As you take a good 3 out of 4 strikes. The Medusa, yeah, she's taken a few blows. She's not looking terrible, but she's certainly showing a bit of damage. Comes to... Let's get rid of that one because I did new. This Gargoyle here, having just seen things explode in front of him, will know quite what to do, but will chase down the cleric where he believes that damage came from. And he will... make a claw attack against you. $15
Misses.
misses. He swings over the rubble of the table and his fellow gargoyle beneath him. Stumbles slightly, and as he scratches out towards you, he actually misses. Just catches the corner of your sort of breastplate and doesn't connect. That turns us to Our Lady Medusa. And having just taken a few hits from you, Ron, she stares right at you, and she will use her petrifying glaze upon you. It's quite long-winded, but you must make a DC 14 Constitution save.
Okay.
If you fail by 5 or more, you are instantly petrified. The creature that fails to save begins to turn to stone and is restrained.
Get in there!
So you succeed. She glares at you. Her eyes flick like a yellow yellowy, goldy colour. She tries to bear down on you to petrify you, and you, with your monk resilience, resist against it, and you are unaffected.
Okay.
Nice.
I've just realised something, and I'm a fucking idiot.
What's up?
Absolute fucking idiot.
Why?
So, with that petrifying glaze, the Medusa, when you start your turn within 30 feet of it, and you are staring, you are looking, you can see the Medusa's eyes, you must make that DC throw, regardless. It's not an action,
Oh.
it's a effect.
Oh.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh shit.
Okay, right, so it's my fuck up generally. What I'll say, Sean, if you're happy with this, is I want you to make one more Constitution save, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, fair enough.
It's 30 feet, yeah?
So, wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. No, happy with that. Happy with that. Okay, so my fuck up, so I'm taking a hit on it, but from now on, you are within 30 feet and you can see the Medusa's eyes and she's looking in your general direction. You must make that save.
Okay.
Happy?
Yep.
Yeah, of course,
Okay.
of course.
So
You
that brings
still
us.
get your turn though.
I do still get my turn. So she's going to fucking whelp on you, I'm afraid. Out slashes the snake hair for 19.
Well, I actually took the lucky feat, so I would like to roll a d20 and possibly swap that with your roll.
Nice.
Okay.
So that's an 8.
Fair
So
enough.
plus your 5, that's a 13, which
Yeah.
misses.
Okay. One short sword for 19.
That will hit.
Two short swords for 9. 9.
Okay, first one hits.
So the one will hit. For 6 damage.
Okay.
And that will end the Medusa's turn. You lucky, lucky bastard. Heracles, our elk form.
Okay, so that gargoyle's just about 20 feet away from me. So I am going to start charging 20 feet towards it, and I'm going to try and
Okay.
hit it with a ram attack.
Okay.
We're going to try and move.
Which I guess does not hit because I rolled a 2, making that an 8.
So what we'll say is that as you come to rush across, the rubble of the gargoyle and the table in the
Yeah.
way stumble a little bit, and you do connect, but no damage whatsoever. It's quite a light-hearted, just a butt to the back of the gargoyle it's facing away from you.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, knowing that that's like kind of my only trick. What can I do? I might just I'm going to drop Wild Shape. So I'll just take this bad boy and put him down there in case I want to use him again. So I kind of like, I just drop Wild Shape and I just go, well, that didn't work, did it? And let's have a look. What can I do as a bonus?
Dropping wild check, is that free action? Can't
Oh,
remember.
actually, that might be...
Or is that a bonus action? Does it say?
Don't know. Actually, wait a minute. Can stay in B-shaped fire for reverting back to your normal form, or as a bonus action earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I drop it as a bonus.
That's it then, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
that's it.
doesn't
That's
need
all I can do.
charging.
That's. Oh, actually, I can still move.
Yeah.
So I moved 20, and I still have 10 movement left. Just quite aware that I'm quite close to her. I'm going to take the attack of opportunity, and I'm going to move back here.
Okay. I will take the attack of opportunity, but I'll do it at disadvantage. I'll do it as if he's just swiped behind as you've kind of butted him in the back.
Okay.
So
Don't stifle his ability on my account. If you want to,
well,
if you want to attack full fat, then carry on.
Full fat attack.
That's
So
not-
even at disadvantage, it would be a 14.
yeah.
Would miss.
Okay, this is yes.
So Craig, please make for me a Constitution saving throw.
I don't want
Even
to.
that you are in her field of vision. 14 DC.
Winter.
Oh, fucking hell.
Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Your skeleton body just doesn't seem to be affected by this glaze at the moment.
Well, you see, the problem is that I don't actually have any eye sockets for her to stare into.
You got no
no, sorry.
eyeballs.
Eyeballs,
Oh.
yes, I do. I have eye sockets.
Eyeball.
Eyeballs. Okay. So seeing as stuff and things, what's this going to be? 50-foot cube. That's going to hit you, so never mind. Right then. Ooh. Okay, DM. Our
Yeah.
new shiny DM, who has, who has not been tested until this very second. What would happen with the petrifying gaze if the Medusa were to be blinded?
Oh,
Ooh.
I couldn't. Give me 1 second. I would. I don't know. I will.
I mean, I'm looking at the.
How would everybody in the group think that if she
Like
were blinded?
DM?
be-
Yeah,
Richard?
No, I
it's
appreciate that. I'm
it's completely
willing
up to you.
take the.
Hmm.
I
Now, see, the wording of the thing that I can see is when a creature that can see the Medusa's eyes starts its turn. Doesn't necessarily suggest that the Medusa has to see it.
I've just looked on the internet. The consensus is a blind Medusa cannot use its petrifying gaze.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
it does
with that
actually
result.
say in the description, it says if the Medusa isn't incapacitated and can see the creature.
Yeah.
There we go. So my
Okay.
question.
Suggesting
with
that
that
if
then,
it
so-
cannot see the creature, then it will not work.
Yeah.
Then I
So
go
if she
to-
is blinded,
Okay. In that case, having felt the attempt for her magical gaze to lock onto my single hollow eye socket, because obviously the symbol of cord is in the other one. I'm going to try and stop this from happening again. I'm going to cast blindness on her. It's level 2. She needs to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
oh,
There you go.
she is blinded.
She
And
is
as you cast the spell, it takes a moment to effect, but her eyes actually they go almost like a grey, like stone colour initially, and as she lets out a screech, and she doesn't know what to make of it initially, and she is blinded.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go. So that will stop that. That lasts for 1 minute, and it's not even concentration, which is great.
Nice.
Do I get a save with that at the end? My turn?
At the end of each of your turns, yeah.
At the end of each turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next turn, we should be free of the tyranny of the gaze. That sounded wrong. Right then.
Tyranny of the J.
That was gaze. Gaze with a Z. That's a G-A-Z-E. I'd like to point it out. I'd like to put a little disclaimer on there. I have no problem with the other types of gaze. There's no problem with that. I'm going to be moving on now.
Okay. Is that end your turn?
That was indeed my turn.
Brom, let's move this along swiftly.
All right. Okay, sensing this creature in front of me is now blinded, I would just like to fully unload, as if I was just punching some sort of punching bag. No attempt at like fancy martial art moves. I'm just going to be swinging with full power. And as she's blinded, I do get advantage on the
Yes.
attack rolls. That's correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
So first punch,
Ooh.
that'll hit. That's a 10. Second punch, also hits. 19.
19 will hit, yeah.
So that's 18 in total. And here comes the flurry of blows.
Oh, look at that.
And they'll all hit as well. So that's what did I say? 18, 27,
14.
32.
Yikes.
Oof.
30
Okay.
total.
Yeah, with all those hits, she has taken a fair bit of damage that round. She's bloodied, she's busted a bit from her nose, bleeding, and taken good damage there. That will move to the gargoyle. The gargoyle's seeing the Medusa in a little bit of a pickle, let's say. He's going to take one big beat of its wings and flap over to here and make an attack upon you, Rob. By attack? Well, God's sake. Misses! And that will end his turn. The Medusa's turn. Now.
It makes a save at the end of her turn, just to clarify.
Yeah. So, what the Medusa is going to do,
I think you can still attack.
I can
It's just-
still attack, it's all at
At
disadvantage.
Yeah,
Screw it.
exactly.
Yeah, she is blinded and in a sort of flurry of what the hell is going on, doesn't know what to do. She's going to attack with her multi-attack anyway. Snake hair comes first of all at disadvantage. 6, natural 1. Bugger all. Short sword. 7, misses.
Oh,
7, misses. She has had a literal blind panic where she's just waving, trying to attack you, and that is all she could do. But she will now make a Constitution save.
EC 14.
That is a 4.
Oh, wow, look at that.
goodness.
Still blind.
He's still blinded.
Still track 1 of Cool Self-Titled Album.
He will. He is going to. No, she's going to stay there. No, she's going to stay there. Okay, that ends the Medusa's turn. It is now Heracles. Your
Okay.
turn, sir.
Noticing that I am left alone to my own devices back here, he's gonna close his eyes, and he's gonna like put his put his hand around the. He's got an amulet with a bunch of components around his neck, and he's gonna grab a particular component. He's gonna take a breath, and then extend the moon staff out again in her direction, and he's gonna try once more to cast polymorph.
Alright. And that is what's a
DC 17 Wisdom.
That's a 20.
Oh my god!
Damn.
I roll like shit to save, but that's alright. I roll like really good to save, but shit to hit. Amazing.
Well, it's taking this this encounter in a very interesting direction now. So yeah, that's all of my 4th level slots gone.
Okay.
So in that case, did I see Brom or Craig get hit? You guys have been hit at all?
Slightly.
At all? I've been hit, yes, but not in the
He's
last
hit.
round.
Okay.
That makes a difference.
Are you bad or?
Can you see him?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to. Oh yes. Okay. That's a good one. Let's do that. One creature. Okay. So I am going to move to here, and I'm going to keep the moon staff up, pointing at the Medusa. And this time, I am going to kind of scratch my head a bit, knock a few fleas loose, and I'm going to cast Infestation at her.
Ooh, nasty.
Ooh. Constitution save.
Yeah, Constitution DC 17.
So 10.
Then, okay, so she suffers 8 poison damage. And she moves 5 feet in a random direction. Let's have a look. Roll a d4 for the direction. What's that? It's a 4. So she moves 5 feet west. But the movement does not provoke an opportunity attack. And if the direction rolled is blocked, the target doesn't move. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yes, wait a minute. Have I just done a silly?
Are you telling porcupines, Ned? You telling porcupines?
Yes, I am telling porcupines because it's an action, not a bonus action. I got confused because it says at will next to it. For that translated as a bonus action to me in my head. So please ignore that entire encounter because that didn't happen. I apologise. I do nothing.
You fantasize about casting Infestation.
Yes. I thought about it. I saw it in my mind's eye and I thought, oh, that might be good next time. But I don't actually do it. I apologise.
Again.
I can hear all of the seasoned players watching this screaming, "That's an action, you fool!"
You fool.
Greg, that brings us to you.
Feeling slightly affronted that the gargoyle has ignored me and run past me, I'm going to reach out and touch Faith. But in this particular case, I'm going to reach out and inflict wounds.
Okay.
I'm going to cast this at a 3rd level. Inflict wounds, third level. 19?
Yep, that will do.
Alright, it takes 26 necrotic damage.
Nice.
So as you reach out and touch it, where do you touch it?
Well, I touch it in the bad place. No, I will basically just reach out and kind of touch its flank because I imagine its arms are stretched out towards Brom.
So on its side you touch its rib area, and as you do so, black rot emanates in it, and it actually turns the stone to a really dark black, and it spreads up through its torso, up down the one arm closest to you, and up its neck a little bit. And that did a lot of damage to this thing, and this is looking pretty hurt, this guy. That will end your turn.
That's me, yeah.
Brom, that'll bring us to you.
That means... Oh no, it's blinded.
Yep.
So I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so as she's thrashing about, I'm gonna widen my stance and pivot back at the waist, kind of just leaning out of the way of these attacks, and then now with more precisely timed strikes, I'm just gonna straight right. It's a 26 to hit for 8 bludgeoning damage. Again, lean back, wait for the right moment. Straight right. 18.
Yeah.
It's again, and then I'm going to add a couple of kicks for good measure. Oh, looks like they both hit. But it's only 12 points. That's 29 total.
Okay. As you deal with your 4 attacks there, 2 punches and a blue kick, she again takes quite a chunk of damage there, and she's severely hurt now. Taken a fair bit. Brom has dealt most of this damage. You've literally used that as a punching bag, as you said earlier.
Yep.
And he has taken most of it.
That's my turn then.
Okay, comes to our battered gargoyle, who trying to deal with Brom, the one that's dealing most of the damage to the Medusa. So he will make 1 light attack upon it.
Oof.
And 8.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit.
Yeah. Noob. Our Medusa, once again. This time. Yep, she's gonna frantically attack you again. Where have we gone? Make her first attack. My multi attack. Disadvantage. An 8. Misses.
Nope.
Short sword, first attack. An 8. Unnatural 20.
Gutted.
Misses. Third attack. An 11 with a natural fucking 20.
Nice.
Buddy.
I mean, that would be nice if it was normal.
Oh, thank you, Troy, for your blindedness.
Hey. You know how much shit you put me through with Richard? Seriously? This is payback.
And a Constitution save for good King Jack.
Yeah, he saves.
16 saves. As she finishes thrashing, her eyes suddenly flick open and the glaze starts to bear down once again. Heracles, you are up.
I'm up. Thing is, I prepared this spell list before, because I thought, Heracles being quite a seasoned chap would just prepare some general stuff, and then if he had time to prepare for a certain situation would swap them out after a long rest or something, but he obviously didn't get to do that, so I don't have a whole lot that could really help here. So he is going to... okay. This might be quite good. Let's have a look. Yes. Right. So I am going to cast Entangle on the Medusa.
Okay. And is that an area effect or is that an individual?
That's I can select her. Yes.
Okay.
A creature in the area where you cast the spell must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. Yeah. So I think that means I can select her. But it is a 20-foot... Oh, wait. It's a 20-foot... A 20-foot square. Okay.
Right.
So I can select basically kind of area behind the gargoyle and the Medusa.
Okay.
And hopefully I can entangle them.
The Medusa then rolls an 8.
Okay.
Gargoyle. Rolls a 5.
Okay, cool. Let me just have a read of this. Okay, for the duration, these
basically
plants
just
turn the
restrained.
ground in the area into difficult terrain. It says a creature in the area where I cast a spell must succeed. It doesn't say multiple, but
I think it's just if a creature is inside the area, then it's affected.
Okay.
It's not a single.
right, cool. So yeah, so that is both of them then. Okay, then they are both restrained.
Drain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against my spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself. So yes, there we go.
Lovely. Okay then.
And I think I'm still gonna stay back out of reach of her gaze, essentially.
Yep, that's cool. So, Craig, you give me a... I can't remember what it was now. For the
Constitution.
on... Yeah, DC 14 card.
DC 14. My luck's been too good so far.
Yep.
Oh, natural 20!
Oh,
Oh, man.
I'm not
Yes.
only am I not turning to stone, I am
Yeah, that's
limber.
not-
I am gonna go limbo dancing after this with my supple bones. That's an image for it. Right, I'm going to strike the gargoyle in front of me with my mace.
Yep.
I'm gonna put some stank on it by using Divine Strike along with it. And and get a natural 1 on the head. Ah, blah,
I
blah.
think restrained gives you advantage.
What is it?
Trained attack rolls against creature have advantage. So
There we go.
Yeah.
I shall roll again.
roll him again.
No, that's the wrong button. I think that one might hit.
Yep.
That is 4 bludgeoning damage and 4 thunder damage.
So as you bring your mace down, the combination of the bludgeoning of the mace and the thunder damage it emits actually buries deep into the gargoyle's neck area, shoulder area. It beds down in, and the thunder damage then shatters inside, and the gargoyle explodes.
Ah, beautiful. That's that. And I probably should have done this earlier. I wasn't thinking about it. I do apologise. I'm going to drop Divine Shield on Heracles and put it onto Brom.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. I will take that condition off of me. Cool.
There you go. You have +2 to your AC, Brom.
A constitution
thanks.
save, please.
So it's very useful to you now.
So a Constitution save. I've got luck. I can.
Yeah, it
I
counts.
can roll again.
No, it's 14. The DC is 14.
It's for the, okay.
I've got luck.
I got a lucky. I'm a lucky bastard. Yeah. In that case, I'm just going to continue unloading, sweat dripping from my brow. I'm going to continue with the punches. First attack, 9 damage.
Yeah.
Second attack, 8 damage. Fuck me, I am rolling pretty well tonight, and I'm going to use one of my few remaining key points for one more flurry of blows. Fuck me.
No.
They all just hit, right? That's 19,
Yeah.
28, 26. I think it's 34?
Yeah. Okay, Sean. How would you like to kill this creature?
Okay, I will, as I said, I was kind of like pivoting back at the waist, timing the shots. So I'm going to lean in and connect with one, lean in again, connect with the other, and then as she swings around, I'm going to duck down, slide right in, close to her, and then like in Mortal Kombat where you like uppercut them off the bridge, I'm going to just stand up, uppercut directly under the chin and just knock her flying off of the bar, possibly onto these tables and chairs behind her in some sort of crazy WWE table smashing action.
Yeah. She comes flying off the bar, flies a good 10 feet as you full on uppercut her. She smashes down the table, actually breaks it in half by the weight of her as she comes down, and she is no more.
Yes, quite.
I was just gonna look across the pub and see if that woman is still in that chair.
Good call, man. Good call.
Is she there, Richard?
Do we get a slow clap?
She sat there wide-eyed, and this is all just unfolded in about 30 seconds, 40 seconds realistically. She just stands up and just without saying a word, she just walks out the bar, puts puts her glass down on the table, just shakes her head and walks away. like have I just really seen that, and just walks away.
Well, we reckon there might be a bout of the old PTSD there. We'll deal with that later.
She seems nice.
Okay. So the aftermath of this battle, you find very little remains of the gargoyles. Would you like to search the Medusa?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Somebody give me an investigation check. Anybody wants to have a check?
Oh, guidance! Guidance on whoever does it.
Not me.
I'm terrible at it, but I'll
for
do
God's
it
sake.
anyway.
My plus
Hey,
is
is he?
17
my plus is
Great.
0.
plus a D4.
That's D4.
What's yours? A 0?
Oh,
That's
wow.
better than
That's
a
better than
negative
yours, yeah.
number.
Well,
Yeah,
so
right,
you've
yeah,
got
that's
20 in
it.
total.
20
Yeah.
total, yeah.
Upon the Medusa, you find a short sword. It's a regular short sword, nothing crazy. You also find a bow, again, a regularish bow. And at this point, staring down upon her, you do see she has actually started to change back into the barmaid you first saw, and she has the ability to change into the Medusa.
When she changes, I point to her and I turn back. See, I told you we couldn't trust her.
You also do find upon her a staff, and the staff comes up. It has a big serpent head upon it. and this is a staff of the Python.
Ooh.
You are willing to take if you like.
Sure.
Yeah.
And with that investigation roll, I say to save time, I gather you'd search kind of the rest of the inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's still that section of the cellar that we didn't have a look at either.
So, again, just to save time, appreciate the time now. You reveal this area is the kitchen, nothing crazy in there, little storeroom out the back. And on far side reveals a little back room. There's a gaming table in there. And actually on the right hand side there is a fireplace, but just to the side of it you do find a chest. Within that chest you find a note. Within that chest you find roughly around 6,000 gold pieces.
Jesus.
All right.
This Medusa has clearly been doing this, maybe not necessarily just here, but in many places over. And she's been taking the money off patrons of the bar, whoever it may be, and tell she may have been doing this for quite a long time. Gathered a large amount of money.
Damn.
A few random trinkets, few little precious gems, but nothing other than pure gold in this chest.
I think now that we've fought a Medusa, I think between the three of us, I think we probably would have twigged enough to work out that the statues below were probably the missing men.
Yes.
And I think we probably would have ended up trying one of the scrolls on at least one of them.
So, what I will do, I won't go into it, but let's just say you, just out of interest, if I'll take you there now, just to a little bit to explain it. I'll reveal the last room. Also, nothing crazy different there. Out of interest, if you could have picked two with the spell scrolls, which would you have picked to resurrect?
What? Who's this in the bottom right? Is he broken or is it?
He is a slightly different statue. He is. I just chose a different statue. This is actually, you come to see him. He's a slightly older gentleman. This is
leader.
The guild leader.
We would probably pick who we think is the guild leader, and the second one of them dressed like a guard, I think.
Yeah. So you pick the other one, and as you use the Great Restoration spell, you bring the batch of petrification, and they take a breath, and oh my God! Oh, what? Oh, how long have I been like that?
All right, calm down, my flower. You've been out of it for a little while. Seems the tavern lady, she was a Medusa, and she was well, as you can see, and I point toward the other statues.
I came upon it myself. It's crazy, really. I've been in this tavern many times. The young girl behind the bar, she's one of the nicest young ladies I've ever met. One day she asked me about trouble in the basement and could I help out. I mean, I was an adventurer once myself. Yeah. And he looks across to Craig and he's like, are you a cleric? You're a skeleton, but are you a cleric?
It's nice of you to say so. It's nice of you also to not to go running, as obviously my appearance is slightly concerning. However, yes, you are correct in that I am indeed a cleric.
I am a cleric myself. I've adventured many years. I had a little party many years ago, and I might actually be able to help with some of these other guys. And he is a level 11 cleric.
Good.
And he can actually cast Great Restoration, and over today he unpetrifies some of them and comes back another day, and for some of them, but the remainder. Yeah, you have done us a great service. Obviously, not but 2 weeks ago, I sent out help in trying to solve this. I inadvertently saved it myself, or solved it myself, but couldn't follow through with the deed when I came down here and found these poor individuals like this. Been here a while, clearly. I mean, I remember when she first came, but 3 months ago. Yeah, it seems our young men and our guys started to disappear soon after.
Well, who owned this pub before she come along?
Well, we had a well-to-do couple. They ran it for many years, and they came to me one day saying that they'd had enough of the tavern life and they were leaving to move away and find their home of a lifetime away from this village. It seemed they were fulfilled.
Insight check. I bet they're buried somewhere in there, aren't they? Oops! I was doing a talk to myself in Roll20, and now I can't turn it off. Yeah, we go. Right. Insight check. Right. Where's my character? I bet that they're going to be buried under the flagstone. So that's the initiative. No. Insight. There we go. 23.
He is genuinely telling the truth. Whether they were under some sort of mind-altering spell or whatever, but they genuinely came to the clan leader, said they were off, and they left. And this is when the young girl took over the bar, and seemed to be doing down here.
His story checks out.
But I thank you. If you'd follow me back to the guild, I can give you a reward, and I'm sure my wife will be really rather worried. I don't know quite how long it has been.
We'd say it's been about 6 days.
Oh God, yes, she will be worried. Oh, bless her soul.
Yeah, there is a slight matter of money that has been discovered in the Medusa's lair. Would you be adverse to us taking that as spoils of the?
No, of course. I mean, anything that was gathered here was, I mean, potentially from some of the villagers, some of the guards we have in the village. But you have done us a great service. I will leave it to your judgment. If you, with the amount of money you found, if this is enough of a payment for you, then certainly, please, we will. The reward money that was for the quest, if the amount you have taken is sufficient, then please, it is yours.
The money that Craig would have had, which I believe would be 2,000, because obviously there's 6,000 gold in the chest, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The 2,000. Yeah, the 2,000 that Craig would have had, he will give back to the village because he has no use for money really, because he doesn't eat.
Oh my goodness, fine, sir. Oh.
Yeah, Brom would do the same. He'd take the money that was offered for the payment for the job, but the money that he found, he wouldn't be interested in.
I think generally the consensus is all three of us are going to do that, actually, because Heracles is just a good egg.
We are all noble-hearted adventurers.
You're just copying me because it sounded good.
The guildmaster is in shock, and he thanks you, and he cannot thank you enough, and invites you back to the village. He brings over time brings the young men back, and a great feast is had, and you are praised as heroes of the village of Rock. And he turns to you as you are on your way out to leave. Let's say the quest is done, you've enjoyed a good feast. He says, I can never repay you with enough thanks. The whole village owes you its gratitude, and if you ever pass by this way again, please come by, and we will We will look after you. You are good with us.
Well, yes, very kind. All we really ask is that you pass on the tales and the name of the guild and our good deeds, so that other people might hire us, and your hospitality wouldn't go amiss if we came through again. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Of course, you are all fine gentlemen, and you've done some great service. Skeleton, the dwarf, and the furbog. It sounds like an epic tale, certainly.
There's no bother.
A dwarf, a furbog, and a skeleton walk into a bar. Now, there's a joke opener, no mistake.
And then they kill a Medusa. And 2 gargoyles.
And that is very well end tonight's session.
Yay!
Well done, Rich. That was awesome.
Well done, Rich.
Oh,
Well done, mate.
wow. Went on a fair bit longer than I expected, as you've all found it does.
Hey,
It
could you
does.
imagine if we investigated every little point on that map first?
Exactly. I mean, my plan was, and I briefly talked through with Sean anyway, was that no matter where you end up going, your outcome would be the same. You
Right,
would get the result of go to that inn. Yeah. And I was when you were like, yeah, we'll just go there first. I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, I just didn't do it. And I was like, oh well, it'll save a bit of time. Things will probably take longer anyway. So actually, if you'd have done that, we'd have probably saved about 20 minutes. But oh well. Oh well.
No plan survives encounter with the players.
No.
Yeah,
not
your
so.
players will always come up with a way just to totally. I don't know if I told the story where they had to get into a warehouse that was like where like stolen goods were being kept, and I had worked out 4 different ways that they could get into the building, and then one of them just said he goes up and knocks on the door, which I did not think of.
Yeah.
Players are assholes, man. Guys,
Yes?
do you hear that?
What?
It sounds like an advertisement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just around the corner. It seems to say that next week we are having our first live stream on twitch.tv/TNG Nerds. We are having the first Battle Royal for the Nexus Championship League, the NCL. Come join us for a night of ridiculously raucous rampaging as we fight for gold and glory, with the last person standing winning the coveted NCL Interspecies Championship belt. It is a Battle Royale. We have a guest, and we're very excited about it. And it's our very first live stream. Did I mention that? We're all fucking terrified. We don't know what we're doing, man. We're playing with a dude that's about the seat of our pants.
It's gonna be fine.
It's going to be fine. Unless, of course, you're listening to this in the future, in which case the Battle Royale may have already passed, and you will know how well we did or how badly we did. But regardless,
will hopefully have this up tomorrow night.
Yeah, I know. But, I'm just saying that things being up on the internet means that someone in the future may listen to this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And be like, oh yeah, that happened like 7,000 years ago, or whenever they happen to listen to it.
That's true, but the Battle Royale will still be available to view on our YouTube channel. So
Yes.
all good. It'll all work out in the end.
So please, come join us. Come sit in the chat and heckle us if necessary. Maybe cheer us along. Maybe just sit there and watch in awe as we bumble our way through our first live stream, because we don't know what we're doing.
Specifically, what is the date and time?
That would help, wouldn't it, Nads? Thank you for bringing that up. That is on the 22nd of July 2021, which is a Thursday, at 8:30 p.m. UK time, which is BST currently, because it's British summertime in Britain. Yes.
Yes.
So that's our that's a look at that. Oh, look! The advertisement. It's going away now. Bye. Bye, advertisement.
I think all that is left to say is well done, Rich, for the amazing
man.
first time DMing. Very well done, sir.
That was
Very well done.
First time. Very well done. Yeah, I was quite impressed.
We'd also like to shout out to Nathan, who couldn't unfortunately be with us this evening because he has a life outside of this little group, which is just rude.
It's no commitment, is what it is. It's
Exactly.
a lack of commitment.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and be with my friends.
What those?
Brilliant.
And yes, so please follow us on all the socials, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook,
The Twitter.
and what?
Oh, just a thing for about Twitter, right? Just a thing. Whilst we were playing this evening, we went over 600 followers.
Woof. Okay, that's new.
We have breached 600 followers. We're in fact at 602.
Excellent.
So thank you everyone who is listening to this, who follows us on Twitter. If you don't mind just pushing us out there a little bit more, pushing us out there, making us a bit more, people who know who we are. And if you want to subscribe on the YouTubes, that would be nice as well. We like that. We would like that a lot. We go as far as to say we'd be pleased.
I mean, the fact that we're doing the Battle Royale live stream is because we passed 100 subs on YouTube.
Yes, we did.
And basically, every time we hit a milestone on YouTube, we will be doing something else special. Probably just probably another Battle Royale with another special guest. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see when the time comes.
Yeah, and maybe in the future, if you're if you interact with us a lot and you talk to us a lot, maybe that special guest could be you.
Ooh.
Could be you listening to us right now.
Getting about it.
Think about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You too could be part of a lackluster live stream.
Oh, way to sell it, Troy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Look. The thing about customer service, right, is that you always let the customer know what they're getting in for before they get in for it. All right. However, in this instance, it's going to be awesome because we're awesome, and the only reason you're listening to this is because we're awesome. Also, I may have drunk too much coffee, so I'm going to stop talking now.
It doesn't show. So until next
Not at
time,
all.
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Bye.
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 Bye.